So good day, you are all welcome. So today I will be telling you a story of grace, transformation, and finding light in the deepest darkness. The weight of the silent room. To everyone on the outside, Maya's life looked picture perfect. She was brilliant, driven, and seemingly had everything under control. But behind closed doors, a heavy, suffocating fog had settled over her mind. For months, Maya had been battling a severe, silent depression. Every morning felt like waking up to pull a heavy iron sled uphill. The things that once brought her joy, her music, her friends, her dreams, felt distant, muted by an overwhelming sense of emptiness and worthlessness. She tried everything the world suggested: toxic positivity, burying herself in endless work, and wearing a plastic smile that grew heavier by the day. But nothing could fill the hollow ache in her chest. One rainy Friday evening, the weight became too much to bear. Sitting on her bedroom floor, tears streaming down her face, Maya felt completely defeated. The darkness felt absolute, and she was tired of fighting it in her own strength. A cry in the dark. In total brokenness, Maya dropped her head into her hands. She had never been a deeply religious person, but in that moment of absolute despair, a faint whisper of desperation rose from her heart. God, she sobbed into the empty room. If you are real, please help me. I can't carry this anymore. I give up. I give my life, my pain, and everything I am to you. Just save me. It wasn't an eloquent prayer, but it was entirely honest. For the first time, Maya stopped trying to fix herself and completely surrendered. As she lay there, a strange, quiet stillness settled over the room. The depression didn't instantly vanish like a magic trick, but a subtle warmth crept into her chest, a tiny flicker of peace that whispered, "You are not alone." The journey of grace. Giving her life to Christ didn't mean Maya's life became a flawless fairy tale overnight, but it completely changed how she fought the battle. She was no longer fighting for victory, she was fighting from a position of victory. She began to dive into the scriptures, replacing the toxic, self-critical thoughts in her head with the truth of God's word. Whenever the familiar shadow of depression whispered, "You are a failure," she would counter it with truth, "I am wonderfully and fearfully made." When the anxiety of the future gripped her, she held on to the promise, "He will never leave you nor forsake you." Maya also realized that God's help often comes through the hands and feet of others. Guided by her newfound faith, she found the courage to do what pride had always blocked. She joined a community. She plugged into a local Bible study group, finding a circle of authentic believers who prayed with her and kept her accountable. She sought wise counsel. Understanding that God created medicine and mental health resources, she reached out to a Christian counselor to work through the deep-seated roots of her emotional trauma. She shifted her focus. Instead of consuming herself with her own pain, she began volunteering, channeling her energy into serving others. Out of the shadow, into the light. Months passed. One morning, Maya woke up, stepped onto her balcony, and felt the warmth of the sun on her face. Suddenly, she realized something profound. The heavy iron sled was gone. The suffocating fog had lifted. She wasn't just surviving anymore, she was genuinely full of joy. Through Christ, Maya found an anchor that the storms of life couldn't shake. Her depression had tried to tell her that her story was over, but God used that exact point of brokenness to rewrite her entire life. She had traded her ashes for beauty, and her spirit of heaviness for a garment of praise. Now, when she sings or speaks, she doesn't just share a melody, she shares a living testimony of a God who reaches into the darkest pits to pull his children into marvelous light.